Okay, here we are with a PathandTarot collective reading. This is an open reading. It's meant for everybody at any time, so you can think of this as this video is like a time capsule in a way of the intention that we're capturing here for you now, and then there's going to be a lot of them built up over time. So whenever you come across this, this is meant for you, so you can set your attention ahead of time as you're watching this and see what the cards have for you. But we're going to leave it pretty open-ended. We're just going to be asking, what it is we need to know. What are the things that we have to uncover that we're going to be working with here and now in this moment. So we just got the PathandTarot deck going here. It's shuffling up. Previously, we've used other cards in this, but today's just going to be the tarot. So let's get into it here now. Cavalier Pentacles. This is cool. It's nice to see a court card happen right at the very beginning, because there's a very low chance of getting that card compared to the other cards, like a numbered card or a major arcana like a trump. So this is cool. So we can basically take this as confirmation of us in the reading, like the human condition. The court cards are layers of ourself. So this is just a portion of that layer here, and we've got a determined energy. So this is nice. So we start off with a sense of determination, groundedness, being our feet on the ground. We're dealing with the material world. Let's see what another card has for us here. So I'm just going to be building the cards outward this way to craft like almost like a matrix in a way. Conquest. I'm going to put it right here. So our determination is creating our conquest, like our journey into victory. Conquest by force in a way, but not necessarily. It depends how you look at it. So what are we conquesting for? What are we going in there? We got loss. 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to put that underneath conquest, because there's always a threat of loss when you're dealing with any sort of actions that have a purpose to attain something, like the conquesting to gain something. There's always the potential of losing something along the way. Recovery. So maybe I'll put recovery right here, because there's always the chance of loss and gain. So those are, maybe this bottom here is like dealing with the potential, but it's nice to let the cards sort of unravel and put that together. This isn't exactly a card spread. We're just letting the cards kind of unfold and see where they want to end up. But right now we've got a nice mixture of the elements. Here we've got 3 different elements: fire, earth, and air. That's nice to see. But I think down here these 2 cards are side by side, and they're in a sequence too, 4 and 5. 4, 5, and 6 actually. That's, that is really interesting. So this is a nice run of numbers here. Let's see what else we can get. Engage, the King of Pentacles. So now we've got a nice connection of the court here with the element earth. The King of Pentacles, a little bit of fire inside of the earth. So engaged, you're becoming more engaged in this conquest, this journey that we're on right here, that has the threat of loss but also recovery at the same time. Stay engaged, interact with as many things as you can. Let's get the next card, the High Priestess. This is cool. It's hard to say where this card feels like. It feels like it could be down here. It kind of makes sense to be here, because the High Priestess, you can deal with that card as a way of working with initiation. Being able to initiate into higher knowledge that takes you behind the scenes of things. That's how we can look at it. Behind the scenes is the potential that's always there. And so if we stay engaged, we have the possibility of knowing deeper behind the scenes of what's really going on. So let's get one more card out here. Fantastic. So this is great. We're missing a 3 in here. If you're looking at the numbers 1, 2, we need a 3 in some way. I'm not really seeing that in here, so there's something that's kind of broken in the sequence. But that's kind of a cool thing, because that missing piece is the thing that we could be conquesting for. Is that the number 3 here? We're not seeing a 3, but we're going to see the last card. I'm kind of getting a little excited to see what this last card is here to kind of tie this all together. But we've got a really nice sequence, like the Magician here. The Magician is about becoming skillful in all areas of your life. In the case of context of the tarot deck, it's the Magician mastering all the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. The sword, cups, pentacles, and wands, to become like the 5th element in a way, like spirit. That's what the Magician is kind of about, and that leads into the High Priestess. Because the Magician is skillful, the Magician is able to initiate into the energies of the High Priestess to kind of go behind the scenes and deal with the always looming 50% odds of potential, like it's going to work out or it's not going to work out. All right, so let's see what this last card is. Prudence, 8. 8 of Pentacles. So we didn't really see that sequence tie together, but I think that's okay. That's that missing thing that you can be on the lookout for. The interesting thing about the tarot is that it sort of tunes you into the world around you, and the world can speak to you in ways, maybe literally through people, but events, nature. You can, if you pay close attention, there's these subtle signs that can happen that can point you in the right direction. And when that starts to happen, synchronicity starts to happen. That's how you know that you're on the right path. We've got Prudence here, 8 of Pentacles. So what that's making me feel is like we have to really tend to the resources. I like to think of gardening in a way, because you're growing something, you have to be aware of the resources you need to grow that thing. And what it's growing in, the environment it's growing in. How's the soil? Is the soil good enough to allow this plant to grow out of it? So, it's looking at really saving resources and using them strategically. And I think that's a good answer to a lot of the things that we have here in our conquest, becoming engaged and determined, the different layers of our self, our psyche. And, remember, dealing with court cards, it doesn't necessarily have to be gendered specifically in a way. It's just energy. The King's energy is very action-oriented. The Cavalier's energy is very action-oriented. They're active energies. So we're dealing with that type of energy set. So there's very little passive energy, I think, outside of the appearance of the earthly suit. The earth is a passive energy along with water. So there's a nice mixture of active and passive energies through air, fire, and earth, which is really, really cool. So there's a balance. But water is certainly missing here. So maybe just by the fact it's not here, we can actually talk about it. Water, the element water could be that last final thing that kind of puts this all together. The resource of emotion is possibly what you want to save, that allows you to become that magician. Because the magician here, the magician still needs to master that emotional element, which is not here in this card spread at this time. So it would have to really rely on the High Priestess's energy to really possibly get that, if it can at all. But as we can see with some of the colors we have here, we don't even have a lot of blue. There's blues in the High Priestess. There's a little blue here, a little blue here. So there's really, I think that's the missing thing here. So along with our last card, Prudence, we're dealing with a resource. I think that resource is probably emotion in some way. So we could say that. So there's the reading. So that's it. Use what you want from this. This is all up for grabs. If you find it at a later time, hope this helps. Use the links below in the description of the video to learn more, about tarot. You can even buy this deck if you want to, and contact me for a tarot reading that's more personalized. But I guess until then, I'll see you out there.